Aha! Hello! Didn't realise you were there. Right, welcome back to the Just Do It channel. All stuff, run, bike, run, strength training, and lots of other stuff. Life stuff. As seen through my eyes, 61 years old, ex-triathlete, now a duathlete, runner when I was younger, very much younger, and all about the journey I'm on to try and maintain speed and fitness as I get older. Right, enough of the intro stuff. I've not done an intro like that for ages, have I? But I thought I'd better add in case anybody's watching and think, what is this guy on about? And just switching off. A bit of context, good, bad, let me know. Let's talk shoes, race trainers. I just love the smell. Race shoes. Okay, that is the Asics Metaspeed Tokyo Sky, not the Edge, the Sky. Yes, I've recently raced at the Alsager 5-mile road race, and first race of the year, I put my race shoes on, which are the Alpha Fly 3s, a nice shoe, generally only worn for races, and I thought they were fantastic last year. I put them on just prior to this Alsager 5-mile road race, and I don't know, they just felt so clunky, they're light, and they kind of had bass, but it just felt like I was slapping around in flippers on the road, which is bizarre. I did run a 17:58 5k in those at the back end of 2024, and I thought they were fantastic. But for some reason, I don't know, in 2026, start racing again, and they just weren't doing it. I wasn't feeling it. I really fancied trying the Mizuno Hyperwarp, the Pure, the Elite, or the Pro. There's 3 versions, but they're really quite expensive. And all the reviews basically are saying, well, they're very similar to the Asics Metaspeed. And these were on offer over £100 cheaper. So I thought, well, let's give it a bash. Let's try them. They're a very different dynamic, aren't they? They look very different to the Alpha Fly 3, as you can see. And they just, wow. Even though the Alpha Fly 3 is really light, this one just feels like it's going to float away. I'm sure it's negative weight, it's anti-gravity. And for context, as I'm a duathlete, runner, cyclist, I use the Vaporfly 2 as my preferred choice of shoe for duathlon, sprint duathlon specifically, where I'm wearing flat pedals and like not a clipped, they're not clip in. These are lower stack, still lots of pop, really light. I got life left in those, maybe for a couple more seasons to race duathlons. So let's park that Vaporfly 2. We're not talking about that today. We tested the Metaspeed Asics Sky Tokyo, or Tokyo Sky. I don't know which one it is. It's a long name. We tested it. Let's see how that session went. Testing, it was lots of 200 meter reps on the road. First time I've worn it. Let's have a look. Hello team, welcome to Workout Wednesday. And today we're down with work down in Bristol. Yes, we're down in Bristol. So it's a bit of a trek, early start, but 7-hour stint at work, workout, then back to work. So today the intent is to do 24 times 200. Sounds an odd number, yeah? I'll explain. Yes, 24 times 200. Why 24? It's a session I used to do off the bike when I was training for half Ironman, and I cribbed it from a pro triathlete, so it's got to be good, hasn't it? And it goes like this. So they're in 200 meter reps in blocks of 3. So you do 200 meters on a minute. That means you run 200 meters, and when you get to 60 seconds you run another 200 meters, and then once you've done that 200 again, when it gets to 60 seconds you do another 200 meters, and that's the third 200. So at the end of the third one you take 90 seconds. So, well, you don't take 90 seconds, you do the 200 meters, say you do it in 40 seconds, then you've got another 40 seconds rest 50 seconds rest, sorry, maths, 50 seconds rest before the next one. So 2 200s on a minute, the third 200 on 90 seconds, and you do that continually. So the recoveries are quite short, so you've got to sustain it, but you're running a lot faster pace than you would do if you're doing like 5-minute efforts. and it does really come back to bite at the end of the session, and we'll see how that goes. So you do them in blocks of 3. I normally use stones as an abacus to try and keep count of my reps. So we're at the housing estate at the moment. As you can see, it's just a flat piece of road, relatively quiet. So we'll measure out 200 meters and get this session done. Let's get the warm-up finished and then see how the workout goes. We'll check back in. So we're lucky with the weather today. It's really quite warm and dry, perfect for testing the new edition. Yes, the Asics Sky Tokyo. First time I've worn these. Let's give them a test with some strides, and then for the whole session in 200 meters is the intent to give them a really good test out. Looking forward to that. They're light as a feather. I think they're going to float away. Let's just hope the legs feel floaty as well. Right, warm up, strides done. Let's get into the session. Okay, initial thoughts. They are like wearing slippers. You don't feel you've got anything on, but the amount of cushioning and bounce, I really like them. Now, my initial thought, and I might need to get used to this, is the instability. There's no clunky feeling like the Nike Alpha Fly 3s that I was reporting, but they are bouncy and squishy. But let's do the 200s and see what the time, see what the clock says. I know it's not all about the trainers, it's about the legs as well. I've got to do the work, but initial thoughts, really like them. Really smooth, so much smoother than the Alpha Flies. Okay, let's get this done. Right, these are my abacus. Each stone represents 6 reps. 6, 12, 18, 24 reps, 24 200s. Right, 6 reps down. That's quarter of the way through, 6 reps. Oh, they come thick and fast. I'm hitting around between 41, 42 seconds per 200, which is quite nippy actually. I'm on the 90-second recovery now. Shoes feel fantastic, but very spongy, much more spongy, less solid than the Alpha Fly. Just keep an eye on the clock. Like I say, I think I'll take a bit getting used to, but I'm running at a far faster pace than 5k. It almost feels like I can't cope with the speed because there's nothing on my feet, and you're losing that kind of momentum from the weight of the shoe, if that makes sense. Right, got to get ready for the second lot of 6 reps. Ugh, it's biting already. As I said, this session does come back to bite. Right, better get going. Okay, 3 reps down, total 9 reps done on the 90-second flow recovery. And now I'm just concentrating on what is my 5k feel, perception. I just let the shoes do the work. Although it's got a big stack, it feels like you're close to the ground in a more traditional race flat sense, bizarrely. I think it's the case you just don't realise how fast you're running. Let's see what pace I'm running on this rep. Right, I know 200 isn't much for the GPS to catch up. It was around 320 per k pace and it was cruising. Okay, here we go. So that just about ticked over 42 seconds. Just 200 on the way back, and that's that block done for 12 reps. There we go. Oh, 12 reps. Don't know if you caught that. Just about ticked over 41 and a half, 42 seconds. And I really eased back into that. It's definitely a case of let the shoes do the work. Get used to the fact there's nothing on your feet. 12 reps, halfway through. Okay, another 3 done. although I'm puffing, I am really dialing it back and just trying to cruise. Let the shoe do the work, not push it. When you do 200s, you think I'm doing 200s, therefore I need to sprint. I don't think that's the case. So I'll have shorter recoveries because I'm doing them slightly slower, but it's still around 42 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds for next 3. Okay, through the line, 43 seconds. The more I dial it back, the slower I get, but 43 seconds for 200 for the session I'm doing is still probably way too fast. Almost down to go. Okay, 3 more reps and then we're done. That's 21 200s done, just 3 more. So as I said, I've scaled back the effort, but I'm only losing, I don't know, maybe 1.5 seconds per rep. I think the secret for these shoes is definitely let the shoes do the work. Get into a flow and cruise. Don't try and push the pace and feel the effort. You've just got to let the shoes do the work. Right, next 3 and we're done. Last 200. Let's cruise, totally dial it back. See what pace clicks up. Here we go. We're cruising, we're bounding. Not a real load of effort. Concentrating on that. Shoes do the work. Let the GPS settle. Let's see what it clocks at for a pace. .340. I'll take 340 for a 5k pace at the moment. Happy days for that session. I'm thinking of taking them home as a souvenir. I enjoyed the session so much. Let's summarise the shoes. Yes, I like them. Will they be a race shoe for me? Definitely yes. But they are very different from the race shoes I've used for the last couple of years, which is the Alpha Fly version 3 and version 1. I used version 1 at the Asics 5 just a couple of weeks ago and I just felt clunky. It's fast, it's got good rebound, it didn't feel that comfortable. So how is this one different? Well, it's certainly softer, so soft you feel almost like you don't get the connection of the shoe to your foot like you do in any other trainer that I've used. And because of that, you think, oh, I'm not feeling it, I need to try harder. Sounds weird, but that's just me. But I think if you trust the shoe and you let the shoe do the work, look at the pace you're running and even ease back a bit and allow it to do its job, then I think it's going to be game on. I need to test it in a race to verify all that. But the paces I was doing for 200 varied very little, even though I was varying the effort I was putting in. So when I was started off, I was thinking these 200 meters, I've got to push it. I felt a bit stuttery, trying to get used to the shoe. And then I eased back, got to run smooth. It's designed for not a cadence runner, more of a stridey runner, which is me. And that focus, for me, seemed to work. You've got to stay smooth, let it flow. And that's energy efficient, isn't it? You're not stuttering along. And once I did that, I lost very little pace and I felt smoother. So I need to test that at a race, don't I? And that final rep almost felt like a tempo effort. I know it's only 200 meters, but 340 per K was the pace for that one. And yeah, I'd be happy to run a 5K at that pace. Obviously you can't gauge whether or not that's possible from a 200 meter rep, but yeah, very good indicators on that session. Sorry for the long-winded breakdown, but I think it's worth it because they are so different. The feel is different, and yes, I like them. Right, enough of that, let's cool down. Thanks for joining the session today. It's a good one, isn't it? 24 times 200 meters in blocks of 3, minimal recoveries, every third one slightly longer recovery. It comes back to bite, but you can cruise it and you're running faster than 5k pace for the majority of the session with short recoveries. Gotta be good. See you in the next video.